Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. This is your science lecture of grade 5th, and I am your science teacher Aparna Pandey from Art and Progressive School, Lamachor. So student, as you all know that in science we are discussing our chapter number 4 and few topics we have discussed also. So the name of our chapter is Nervous System and Sense Organs. The name of our chapter is Nervous System and Sense Organs. So student, in previous video what we have learned? We have learned that nervous system is consist of mainly 3 parts. And what are these 3 parts? These 3 parts are brain, spinal cord and nerves. This we have learned in our previous video, that nervous system consists of 3 main parts, and these 3 parts are brain, spinal cord and nerves. Then I have explained you about the brain, and I told you that brain is made up of the 3 parts, and the name of these 3 parts are cerebrum, cerebellum and medulla. Okay, the first part is cerebrum, the second part is cerebellum and the third part is medulla, which is also called the brainstem, So student, about these topics we have discussed in previous video. There I have explained you briefly about all the 3 types. Now today we are going to discuss about the second part of the nervous system, and that is our spinal cord. So the name spinal cord you know from the chapter skeleton system, okay, where I have told you that the spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column. The spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column. So student, just think, when I am saying that spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column, so where is our vertebral column? Vertebral column is this backbone, right? So this backbone, this vertebral column protects our spinal cord. So from here it is clear that the spinal cord exists in backside, right? Backside, which is covered by the backbone, also called the vertebral column, right? Now, today we are going to see further that what is actually the spinal cord is. So see beta, spinal cord is a thread-like structure. First thing that you have to notice about the spinal cord, that spinal cord is a thread-like structure which extends from where it extends? It extends from the base of the brain. I have shown you brain, I have shown you medulla oblongata. So from the base of the brain, and what is the base of the brain? Medulla oblongata, brain stem, right? So this spinal cord extends from the base of the brain to the backbone, So see what I have written here, that spinal cord is a long thread-like structure. Okay, this thing is clear to us. Then it extends from base of the brain to end of the backbone. Then what we come to know that this spinal cord starts from the base of the brain and extends to end of the backbone. Means the complete backbone covers the complete spinal cord. Okay. Now after this, we have studied about the location of the spinal cord, and we know where does it present in our body. Okay, so 2 things. First thing, that it is covered or protected by the backbone. Second thing, we have told that it extends from the base of the brain to the end of the backbone. These 2 things we have now discussed about the spinal cord. Now here question comes that what is the role of the spinal cord? Why there is a spinal cord inside our backbone, and what role it plays? So for that question we have answered here that spinal cord transfers the information. Okay, spinal cord transfers the information from brain to the rest part of the body. It transfers information from the brain to the rest part of the body. So, which help us to send the information from brain to rest part of the body? Then answer will be spinal cord. What is the role of the spinal cord? Spinal cord send the message, or you can say information, from the brain to the rest part of the body. Whatever the brain decides, whatever the order is given by the brain, so how the actions will be taken by the muscles. This information to the muscles is given by the spinal cord. See, what I told you, brain हमारा decide करता है that what we have to do. Then, according to the decision of the brain, muscles will do action. Muscles क्या करेंगी? Action करेंगी. But now see that how the muscles will come to know that what brain have decided. So, this work is done by the spinal cord. A spinal cord informs to our muscles whatever the decision is taken by the brain. Okay. So, from here it is clear that spinal cord takes the information from the brain and it sends to the complete body. Okay. Then, now we have one very interesting action that is done by our body. That action is called reflex action. I will explain you reflex action after few minutes, but right now what you have to understand that reflex action is controlled by the spinal cord. Reflex action is the automatic action that is done by our body. How this action takes place, that I will explain, but for right now just you have to understand that the reflex action of our body is also controlled by the spinal cord. Okay, the reflex action of our body is also controlled by the spinal cord. Then we can see that, yes, I told you that backbone covers the spinal cord. So, related to spinal cord, what I have told you today, students, that spinal cord is covered by the backbone. It extends from the base of the brain to the end of the backbone. Then I told you that spinal cord is a thread-like structure. Then I told you that it transfers the information from the brain to the all parts of the body, and then I have told you that spinal cord controls reflex action, right? Now, when we talk about the reflex action, so what it is? See, sometimes you have noticed that suddenly when you touch a hot utensil, what you do? You just take your hands back from there, right? कभी भी आप अगर गलती से कोई गर्म बर्तन छू लेते हैं तो क्या करते हैं? एकदम से अपना हाथ पीछे ले लेते हैं. Similarly, if by mistake you have touched the lighted candle, तो आप क्या करते हैं? फिर से हाथ पीछे कर लेते हैं. और suppose somewhere you are doing gardening or something, or you are in a garden and suppose you have touched a flower and by mistake your spine was also, or you have touched the spine also, कांटा लग जाता है. So what happens? You just take your hands back now. So what is this? This type of action which we take suddenly, a fast action without thinking, the actions that is taken by our body without thinking automatically, these actions are called the reflex action. The action which we take automatically, which we take suddenly, which are so fast, in which we do not get a second for a thinking, right? Such type of actions are called the reflex action. Reflex action जो फटाफट होते हैं. So what we say, the automatic actions which takes place sudden and they are so fast, these actions are called the reflex action. For example, I told you, suppose when we touch any hot utensil, then we take our hand back. Why? Because when we touched, the sense has felt that yes, something hot we have touched, and suddenly we take our hand back. Now from here, I want to clear you that, students, in reflex action, all the diseases are taken by the spinal cord. Okay, in reflex action, all the diseases are taken by the spinal cord. There is no role of the brain, right? As we know, our brain decides that what we have to do. Our brain gives order to us, and then our muscles function, then our body function on the orders that are given by the brain. Okay, we know. Means brain is the controlling unit of our body, and our body is completely controlled by the brain. This we all know. But when we talk about the reflex action, this is the action in which there is no role of the brain. Because see, brain functions, brain thinks. The property of brain is to think. The brain will think, then it will decide. Now just you think, if brain will take a seconds or a minute in thinking, and then it will send message to spinal cord, through a spinal cord, and then action will be taken in these seconds and these minutes. If you will keep your hand on the hot utensil, what will happen? आपका हाथ जल जाएगा. So why it is so? That's why for the reflex action, brain does not have any type of role. In reflex action, all the roles are played by the spinal cord. Okay, and what is reflex action? Now I know you all are able to understand that reflex actions are the such actions which we take sudden, which are automatic, in which we do not use thinking process. Something sudden happen and our body reacts suddenly. So that is the reflex action, and it is controlled by spinal cord. Now, I have told you about the spinal cord and reflex action. Now here the another topic is nerves, and nerves is the third part of the nervous system. Okay, so when we talk about the nervous system, I have told you that it consists three parts. About the brain and spinal cord I have explained you. Now it's time to talk about the third part, and that is nerves. Now nerves are also a very important part of the nervous system. They play a very important role. So before going in the roles of the nerves, let me introduce you with the types of the nerves. So student, when we talk about the nerves, we have three types of nerves. When we talk about the nerves, we have three types of nerves. What are these? First nerve is a sensory nerve, second type of a nerve is a motor nerve, and third type of a nerve is a mixed nerve. Okay, the first type of nerve is sensory nerve, second type of nerve is motor nerve, and third type of nerve is mixed nerve. Now, according to the names of the nerves, they have their function. I told you that we have three types of nerves: sensory nerve, motor nerve, mixed nerve. So now, as they have different names, so according to their names, they have different actions. Let's see what are these. See beta, when we talk about the sensory nerves, what role they play? See, as I told you earlier, that nerves play the role of sending messages, right? Nerves play a role of sending messages. So now these three nerves will decide that from where they will take message and to where they will send the message. Okay, these nerves decide that from which part they will receive message and to which part they will send message. This is the role of the particular nerve. So when we talk about the sensory nerves, student, these nerves connect our brain to our sense organs. These sensory nerves connects our brain to our sense organs. अब देखिए, according to the name, it is sensory nerve ना. So when we say sensory nerve, sensory words tell us about the sense. So from here what we come to know that sensory nerve connects the sense organs and bring message from the sense organs to the brain. These nerves connect the brain and the sense organ and they help in bringing the message from sense organs to the brain or the spinal cord. ठीक है, सेंस ऑर्गन से जो सेंसरी नर्व से कहाँ से मैसेज लाती है? सेंस ऑर्गन से मैसेज लाती है टू द ब्रेन और टू द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. Then second type of nerve we have motor nerve. So what are motor nerves? These nerves carry instructions or order. Okay, these nerves carry instructions or order from the brain to the muscles and glands of the body. ठीक है, अब सेंस ऑर्गन ने मैसेज दे दिया ब्रेन को, तो वो सेंसरी नर्व का काम हो गया. आफ्टर दैट brain decides or brain gives order that what is to be done. So that order is to be given to the muscles and the glands of the body. So who will give this order? Who will help in sending this order? So this role is done by the motor nerves. This role is done by the motor nerves. So what we can say that the nerves which carry instruction from the brain or spinal cord to the muscles or glands are called motor nerves. And third type of nerve we have mixed nerve. Third type of nerve we have mixed nerve. Now see beta, I have told you about the sensory nerve, I have told you about the motor nerve. The third name is mixed nerve. Mixed is the name in itself suggesting that the work done by these nerves will be some mixed type of work. So let's see what it is. It is saying that some nerves do both the functions. Both the functions means they carry message to the brain and spinal cord as well as bring order from the brain and the spinal cord. See, क्या कहते हैं? Mixed nerve shows both the functions. Both the functions means the functions that was done by the sensory and the motor. Sensory takes the message from sense organ to the brain. Motor nerve takes the order from the brain to the muscles. And mixed nerves are the nerves which shows both the functions together. Means they also carry message from sense organ to the brain and they also bring or they also carry the order from the brain to the muscles of the body. Okay, so these nerves are called the mixed nerves. Let's see if anything is left. Okay, so here students, I have introduced you with the three types of nerves and their function. Okay, so now we have only one topic left, that is sense organs, and that topic we will discuss in our next video. So I hope that you all will like this video and whatever I have explained you are getting there. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.